All right, let's tackle one of the biggest questions in personal finance, one that so many people struggle with. How do you actually build serious wealth when you feel like your salary just isn't enough? Today, we're going to break down the core principles step by step to show you that it is absolutely possible. Let's dive in.
So let's just start with a question that's probably bouncing around in your head. You look at your paycheck, you look at your bills, and you think, there's no way. How could I possibly get rich on this? It's a really common feeling, a huge roadblock for a lot of people. But what if that whole question is built on a faulty premise?
Okay, look at this. On the left, you've got the belief that keeps people stuck. I don't earn enough. But on the right, that's the principle that people who master their money live by. And this is the key takeaway. Wealth isn't about some magic salary number. It's forged day in and day out by the systems and habits you put in place. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by completely busting that low salary myth. Then we'll get into the mindset you need. After that, we'll build the actual systems, fire up your growth engine, and finally, we'll talk about why this is all about playing the long game. First things first, let's take a hammer to this idea that your starting salary decides where you end up financially.
I really want you to let this one sink in. Think of your paycheck as the launch pad. It's just where you start. But the direction you go, the altitude you reach, that is 100% determined by your habits. It's all about what you do with the money you have, no matter how small it might seem right now.
Okay, moving on, because before you save a single dollar, before you invest anything, the most important work has to happen right between your ears. We have to build the psychological foundation first. And this is the number one enemy of building wealth, the scarcity mindset. It's that constant nagging feeling that you're always behind, that there's not enough to go around, and you have to just desperately hold on to whatever you have. That mindset is driven by fear, and fear makes for terrible, short-sighted financial decisions. And the contrast here is just night and day, isn't it? A scarcity mindset only sees problems and closed doors. A wealth mindset is always looking for opportunities, for a way forward. Scarcity tells you to hoard your money under a mattress out of fear. But a wealth mindset, it sees money for what it is, a tool, an employee that you can put to work to build even more for you. Making that mental shift is everything. All right, so with our heads in the right space, we can finally get into the nuts and bolts. We're moving from psychology to mechanics. It is time to build the actual system that's going to be the foundation of all your future wealth. And it's a beautifully simple three-step process. First, you have to track everything. Seriously, use an app, a notebook, I don't care, but you need to know where your money is actually going. You can't fix a leak you can't find. Second, create a zero-sum budget. All that means is you give every single dollar a job to do before the month even starts. And third, and this is the most powerful step of all, automate it. Set up those automatic transfers to savings and investments for the very day you get paid. And here's what that can look like in practice. This is the classic 50-30-20 rule. Super simple. 50% of your take-home pay goes to your absolute needs, rent, food, utilities. 30% for your wants, the fun stuff. And here's the game changer. A non-negotiable 20% is automatically sent to your financial future. You pay your future self first before anyone else gets a dime. And this is the whole point. Willpower is fickle. Motivation comes and goes. One day you're super disciplined, the next, not so much. But a well-built automated system, it just works. It doesn't care if you're motivated. It pulls that money for your investments before you even see it, before you get a chance to spend it. It's like putting your financial discipline on autopilot. Now for the really exciting part. Once that foundation is solid and your system is humming along, it's time to light the fuse. It's time to activate the growth engine. This is where we go from just putting money aside to making that money start working for you. And meet the engine of wealth, compound interest. Einstein supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. It's this beautiful, magical process where the money your investments earn starts earning its own money. It's like a tiny snowball rolling down a very, very long hill, getting bigger and bigger and faster over time. Think that sounds like an exaggeration? Take a look at this. Just $100 a month. That's it. It's like $3 a day. You invest that consistently for 40 years, and with a pretty average stock market return, it could grow to almost $350,000. And the craziest part? The vast majority of that money isn't what you put in. It's just growth on top of growth. This chart just says it all. If you saved $200 a month and just stuffed it in a regular savings account for 30 years, you'd end up with 72 grand. Not bad. But
If you invested that same money and let it compound, you could be looking at $270,000. That giant gap between the two bars, that is the power of putting your money to work.
Okay, we've covered the mindset, we've covered the systems, and we've covered the growth engine. This final section ties it all together. Because this isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-wealthy-for-sure strategy. And that requires a commitment.
This timeline is so important for setting the right expectations. Look, the first few years are going to feel slow. You're just building the habit, getting the system running. By year 5, you start to feel some momentum. But it's around year 15 where that compounding curve really starts to bend upwards. And then by year 30, the growth can become truly explosive. Patience is the secret weapon here.
So let's wrap this all up. If you take away nothing else, please remember these 4 things. 1, your habits, not your salary, will determine your financial destiny. 2, you have to ditch that scarcity mindset and adopt one of growth and opportunity. 3, build automated systems that do the heavy lifting for you. And 4, be patient and let the incredible power of compound interest do its work over decades. So I'm going to leave you with this question, because this isn't just about learning something interesting, it's a call to action. You have the blueprint now. The only thing left to do is start building. So what's the first tiny system you're going to build starting today, right now? Are you going to set up an automatic transfer for just $20? Are you going to download a tracking app just to see where your money went last week? Pick one small thing and do it. That's how this journey begins.